But still we remembered that day. It was Pawsomeness. So the guest was sitting in our place, and all of a sudden there was a fire outbreak at that point.
Imagine a place where aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingles with the purring of cats and some scratches of dogs. So we are at the Kalikapur outlet of the Canisters, and we are with Mr. Subhajeet, who
Hi,
is one of the founders of this beautiful place.
hi,
Welcome to my podcast.
right.
This is called The Pro Perspective.
Hi. Thanks for hosting us. I still confused that why we have been chosen, because we think we still haven't done anything yet in the market. But thanks for getting this place for us.
Well, in that case, you and both our viewers will understand why this cafe and why this place for
Right.
our wonderful people there. So, what's with the upcycling, and how did this idea come across?
So we started this in Salt Lake 4 years back. So we used to be working professional. So I used to be working professional, and we both friends, family friends, brothers. We had a very long history of being together, like from the childhood. So we used to work in the same company. So just a particular sort of image helped us. So there was an image with the shipping container having it. So there is a concept of this upcycle, recycle, and shipping container cafes, homes, like outside India, right? So we just saw a picture of that, and we thought of just starting this just by anything. And at that point of time, we were very young, zero knowledge about anything, just anything.
Yeah.
Even you can tell us like the negative part.
Mhm.
So we just started, and my other friend that we both started, he left the job way back. So we started as a small QSR outlet, just a 20 feet shipping container. So in the initial time, we were just confused how to do that, how to take a like how to design a menu,
Yeah.
right? What people will like, what sort of things, because since we were mostly into the art, design, and all, so we mostly focused on the interior and ambience. But later on, when we start just operating, so we just came to know that this is just a part of it. So we were confused, what we should offer the guys, a guest who will be coming to our place and having this, and why they should come up here.
Yeah.
So initially we started back in 2019 to 2020. We all know that the COVID hit us,
Yeah.
and at that point of time, since we were less experienced, so initially we had a lots of hiccups. So we don't know, like generally what happens. Everybody have a wish. Any corporate guy or anyone maybe have a wish of opening a cafe or having something of own, right?
Yeah.
So we just started at that point of time, and initially we had a lots of, because we don't know how to hire staff, we don't know where we should hire staff, where we should connect to get a perfect staff. So we already hired, we don't know what genre we should go for, like the continental or the Indian, Chinese, like the finger food, what we should do.
Yeah.
So generally the most important part what we saw is like a zero knowledge, zero guidance. So we started from a base. So we never had any knowledge of where we should keep going. So the most in the initial days, since I had a job sort of thing, so just to keep that thing survived, so we started doing, and my friend was mostly into it, so we started to do this on the own. So I left the initial job just to start the cafe. Since we used to cook, we used to had the menu, we just had a 7 to 10 items in the menu.
Okay. So
So
you used to cook
yeah,
for the people at first?
yeah,
Wow.
we have done everything, starting from serving to like mopping the tables, mopping the plates,
Oh my
everything we
God.
have done.
Okay.
So
Well,
because
that's the pehchan of entrepreneur here.
no, it's people say that they should do everything, but
Yeah.
at times we see when we don't have any knowledge, so where to hire from. Even if I want to hire somebody, I couldn't, right? So at that point of time, we were not clear about the process and how to proceed. So initial days was tough. So the local people used to come, and so generally what happens, so we used to run the kitchen. So since we were not too much knowledgeable about the commercial things, so we were not used to that kind of hard working, the time we are giving. So at times after the 6 and 7 hours a day,
Yeah.
we were just exhausted. So we we were thinking कि शायद नहीं हो पाएगा, not possible, ठीक है, because we are not able to take this in our health, right? Because we are not used to such journeys. So always motivations was there. Mostly from the initial days, it was him. My other partner was him. So at that point of time, we say, let's see. So initial 6 to 7 months, we used to run by own. So he used to. We were 3 friends basically initially. So I'm still grateful to that person who was with us, because we feel for that in even his 1% contribution we are here. Because that helped us to at least have a platform, right?
That's right.
So at that point of time, the 3 people used to do. So I was in the kitchen. My other friend was the outside taking the orders and all. So 6 and 7 months after on, we hired a cook. Just not a cook, just somebody who just have a knowledge of an initial thing, the sandwich and the pasta and all. We just hired someone, and he looked after the kitchen, and we looked after the outer things.
Okay, so that was the first hiring that you did.
That was the
chef.
first hiring, not a chef. Just somebody who just just have the knowledge of
basic cooking.
Basic cooking.
Yeah. Okay.
So he came up. So we just started looking after the outside things.
And this is all about Salt Lake, right?
This is all about Salt Lake.
Okay.
This is all about Salt Lake. Just the start of the journey.
Okay.
And after that, at the time of puja, it was still, we remembered that day. It was Pawsomeness. So the guest was sitting in our place, and all of a sudden there was a fire outbreak at that point.
Oh my God, this is 2019.
2019.
Oh my God.
Fire outbreak. So there was a 3 months of gap. That actual time of business, the restaurant generally do the business during the puja, the Diwali, then all these things. So we just missed that part. So after 3 months, so since I just joined back the job, because I need to make that thing survive, right? So there was an initial like we have expenses, the cook we have to pay, the rent we have to pay, the electricity bill and all. So after that, we started again on December 25. I still remember the date, because that was at that point of time it was difficult. But we just going with the flow. जब तक कर सकते थे.
तो आपको job join करना पड़ा फिर से.
हाँ, I joined the job, and जब तक कर सकते थे, we just tried. By December, January, February, March 2020, there was a lockdown of the COVID. So the 1 year it was just a struggle. The whole city was closed. And of course, as a business perspective, the places, the rent, there was at times they have given some advantages. Suppose if there was 6 months of lockdown, so they have given us the 2 or 3 months of leverage, but still we have to pay for another 2 or 3 months.
That's right.
And at that point of time, even the company we used to work, they was not giving the pay, like the not in a good way.
So, and also you have to pay the other guy who was cooking for you.
Exactly, and that's for free. He was not working, but I have to keep.
That's right.
Keep
just
that
to keep
person.
him. Yeah.
Right. So very important to keep that thing running.
Yeah.
So after that, there was a second wave on 2021. There was again 2 or 3 months of I think 1 or 2 months of initial gap.
But did you think of switching to home delivery at that point?
No. The reason is since we were not experienced, so the design we had, that Salt Lake part, the kitchen was, since we were not experienced, the kitchen was very small.
Very small.
So it was difficult for
fulfilling
the orders, the home delivery or everything. Even there was a rush. So at 2021, so there was many bloggers coming to our place for the food and all. So initially we didn't invest any sort of things in marketing. So it was just going on. So all of a sudden, 1 or 2 posts got viral. So there was like 2,000, 3,000 share. The share is getting share. So all of a sudden there was a viral thing. And the most important thing is, since we say there is a 2 sides of a coin, right? So I was happy that it was getting viral. People are getting to know. But the thing that we lose was the customers. Because there was a sudden rush. We were zero experienced. We had zero resources. In fact, the guy who was working, we just trained how to make some good sandwiches. We just used to see the YouTube and the all sort of things. We used to go different cafes. We used to eat something. So we just tried
inculcating all those things.
Yeah, all those things, right? So we just go with the flow. We never knew, we never knew what will happen after the 5 years. So we just went with the flow. So after that viral things, we lost lots of customer because there was a waiting time, the food quality, the expectation of people was there. Because since we were not experienced, we don't know what to serve, how to serve. We tried the level best, and in this journey as well, we get a lots of support as well.
Yeah.
That many people used to wait like for an hour, right? So
Mm.
we take it as a positive thing. If
Mm.
people can wait for an hour,
Mm.
maybe we should try doing something. So
Yeah.
after that, we hired one or two people,
Mm.
just from the thing scratch. They were not like the professional ones, because I couldn't even hire the professional ones for a small place.
Mm.
Nobody will work.
Yeah.
And the initial struggle was the trust. There is a very less number of people who will trust,
Mm.
because everybody thinks, because we were vulnerable at that point of time. We were
Yeah.
young, like bacha kya karega, something
Huh.
like this.
Mm.
So we used to be very much vulnerable to the market, to the place. So we gets a lot of attention to the youngsters. We still owe everything to this city and the people who has shown at least a bit of love.
Mm.
We know we have done many mistakes regarding this journey.
Mm.
And after that viral thing, the people started coming, and we were learning every day, to
Yeah.
changing the menu. We just used to have a blackboard for the menu, then coming up with a menu,
Mm.
the understanding the market. I was still working at that point of time, so because I need to survive that 2 years of struggle and the lockdown persuasive.
Yes.
So after that, like I left the job
Hmm.
for like 7 8 months, 1 year,
So this was
dedicatedly.
2021.
This was 2022.
2022 April.
2022
Okay.
one end August kind of thing.
Okay.
So because we get the response after the puja I had, so I left the job. What happened generally after that, I used to give time. So generally when we are having the two things, now we are having a job, we are having a business as well. So there is always, we say that big philosophers say the plan B never works. If you have a plan A, you should never have a plan B. So when I used to work, I never used to understand the problem that we are generally facing in the business.
The ground level problem at least.
Because I was getting a amount of money after having a 30 days of work. So if it is needed in the investments, I used to give the investment in the business.
Yeah.
But when I left the job and get into this, so because I started seeing what is the problem, how we can increase. So we faced lots of problem at that point of time, because we used to get many bookings, 30 20 30 gatherings, because that place is just 20 to 24 seater.
Okay.
So we couldn't take any big party orders, we couldn't respond to any good dishes, because if a good dish need a good kitchen,
Yeah.
and some good professional staffs and chef, I believe.
That's
So we couldn't do that at that point of time. So since we, after getting a lot of response, we thought of maybe it's time to, we can have something bigger thing. So in 2022, it's the we were planning. So suddenly my other friends were searching for some places. We get this place.
Okay.
So we just started. Even after getting this place, we took around 6 months to understand whether we can be able to. Just was a blank space.
Right.
The thing was all cracked up, dirty, blank space. It was really difficult to understand how to utilize it.
Was there something else before this here? I mean,
No, it was just an open rooftop, open roof of a building. So the space is also not planned. It's just like a different sort of space, because it's a cut down place.
Yeah, yeah.
So we need to plan how to.
We don't have four corners. I see.
Exactly.
It's all tilted.
Yeah, it's
here.
all tilted. We don't have a four corners of this place. So, and the most important part is, since we are going with the concept, so we have faced lots of difficulty when we are going with the concept, because a traditional shop, suppose I'm hiring a place for a rented place, I can install some ACs and I can have the thing, because generally nowadays we face like during the heavy rainfall, or there was a scorching heat. So we face a lots of problem, and initially, since we are inexperienced, we had a lots of footfall after we opened up, but we lost lots of guests as well, because we were inexperienced.
Yeah.
And we are not able to find someone who can guide us. Even everything needs to be planned, the menu, the sitting space, the design, the staffs, everything need to be planned. So we just went with the flow. बस ये करना है, ऐसा करना है. So now we are changing things when problems are coming up, right? So this is the problems generally we are facing, right? So that is a reason we try to inculcate the all the problems in a space, and still we are learning. And the most problem we are facing is getting a genre.
That's
Right? Because we are a cafeteria. We since it's a big space, So we need to give a space to people, the family places we are coming for the lunch, the dinner. So we wanted them to have a like, because during the lunch or dinner we can't give them a finger snacks.
That's right.
Then they need something heavy
Yeah.
or
So
solid for them.
full-fledged menu is needed.
Yeah.
And for that,
So, in
again,
fact, the
cooking.
costing part, the
Yeah.
hiring the good chef, getting the kitchen designed and everything, we just initially did as our own.
Yeah.
We never had a knowledge ki even infacting designing a kitchen is very important, because
Okay.
to have a initially the staff needs to have a designed thing so that they can save the time, because
That's
the
right.
it's very
Some
important
pre-cooking
to
thing,
yeah
and
yeah
then,
yeah
yeah,
so
going
it's
to the
very
fast.
important to place the instruments left and right hand sides. So initially, because it saves time,
Yeah.
because when there is a rush of things, so
But where did you learn this from? I mean, was there some
it's
reference
just
point?
no nothing, no reference point. It is just the daily guest we are catering, the
Okay.
daily guest we are facing,
Yeah.
the daily problems we are facing. There is a delay with the service. Why there is a delay with the service?
जैसे जैसे सहूलियत होता रहा, चेंज होता रहा
हाँ,
सब.
बस वही, एंड स्टिल द प्रोसेस इज गोइंग ऑन, बिकॉज
हम्म.
थोड़ा अगर गाइडेंस होता है तो क्या होता है कि वी सेव सम टाइम, वी सेव सम मनी एज वेल.
That's
कि
right.
जहाँ पे हम एक गलत इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं, दैट नीड्स ए लॉट्स ऑफ टाइम. एंड ऐसा कुछ बैकग्राउंड है नहीं. सो वट एवर यू सी, देर इज नो सच इन्फ्लुएंशियल बैकग्राउंड वी गेट, और नो सच, because we belong from a very middle class family.
See, that is the point. You guys are now going to influence a lot of other people. So that is my point of making this video, because I mean, let me tell you my experience though. I entered this place and I know this at first glance it looks cozy. It makes you feel welcoming. That okay, you can just sit here, be at home, be at peace, and have your food and go. The food quality, the staff, people are really humble here, really good. I've seen you serve as well. I've seen you interacting with the guests.
We
and
still do
understanding.
that. We
Yeah.
still do that, because we will continue to do that, because I feel we are good with this. We are good with having interactions with the, because I need to understand. I believe at times people may ask that what is the difference you guys are creating. So we want to look over everything very closely. Right? If you ask me today to make a coffee, if you ask me today to serve a dish, to plate a dish, if you ask me today, not any complicated, maybe not like a professional chef,
Yeah.
but at least I have some few knowledge, right? Even the person, we both are having this hands-on experience, because it's very important. So we need to understand the where the guests are having a problem, because this is not any kind of bar. We have not having any alcohol thing. We do right now. We are not having any shisha kind of thing. We get lots of response that why you guys are not introducing the shisha. So we are totally into the food. So totally into the food. So we want to grow like this organically. So we get many negative, positive things. We welcome the negative things. So generally, what happens? So there is very less number of people to support, because everybody wants everything to be ready-made.
That's
Right. So most of, and it's very natural, it's very normal. Even if I take somebody, if I take my family to some places, right, I want my experience to be good, because even if we believe even if I'm spending 10 rupees, 50 rupees or 100 rupees, that should be worth it.
That's right.
Right. I go somewhere, I take my family or my like loved ones somewhere, they want, because they will go with my suggestions, right? तू लेके आया है तो जगह अच्छा ही होगा, right? So after that, if the experience is not good, if the in fact about the food pricing, we try to keep these things as marginal as possible. Even the solid ones, even the pricing up here, we try to give the best, because due to just 30, 40 or 50 rupees of difference, we don't want to make the experience bad.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, still today we face a lots of guests where we have to, because we believe we need to have a cooperative society. We all are into this system.
Yeah.
And we also understand it's we don't expect somebody to understand, because this is what we are here for. That's why we pay the professional.
Yeah.
Right. It's very
But when we
natural.
talk about business, I understand you take care of the customer as they are your family members. But when we talk about business, do you see a growing graph from 2019 where you started and now where you are? It is better in terms of management. It is better in terms of everything that you've done so far.
I don't know how people define as a successfully running a business, but for us, we think the self growth is important, right? Because we used to have a 24 sitting, now we have a 60 sitting. We used to have a zero knowledge when we started. now after 2 years we had a minimal knowledge. After 5 years or 4 years down the lane, at least we are trying to do better as a thing. So this is a small success for us.
Oh yeah,
So we
definitely.
believe this upcoming growth will help us.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, what are your future plans for this cafe?
Right now, we are planning to have a because I still believe this place needs some changes.
Okay.
This places need some changes, lots of changes, because we still are learning. Not even a year, just a 10 month. So we need to have a very much changes we need to do. We need to have a menu changes every time. We need to have a genre, particularly focusing on a few genres. We need to have a half done property, I believe. So down the lane in 1 and 2 years, I want to make these things automated and a good places to at least people will know by that. And after that, maybe we are planning to have the Salt Lake branch. The Salt Lake branch is basically we are getting lots of good guests, but since we are a conceptual based thing, so it becomes a like a weather oriented thing,
Okay.
right? So during the since we are a concept of open cafeteria, it's upcycled cafeteria, open cafeteria. So we face a lots of problems during the rainy season,
Scorching heat. And
yeah. So we are just trying to improve in that part, so that at least all season we can have a good sort of business. And the most important part is uh, we want this. There is some misconception of food, right? There is a misconception of having a like expensive place to have a expensive place should have a good place should have expensive food. So we want that thing. At least there should always be a flow of guests.
that's right. Yeah.
I don't know about the profit business.
No, I think that's a
right?
great
And
idea.
absolutely, I won't deny that if I'm not doing a charity for starting a business, but that is not the motive. I believe the profit, the money is just a part of it.
Okay.
If we are doing it in a right way, maybe at a point of time the response will come. Because initially I felt that when we were starting the Salt Lake branch, initially for the first 2 years we had nothing.
Yeah.
So after that post getting viral, people are coming. So I thought the time we invested, the thought process we had of keeping that survival was worth it. So I'm still running. We are still running on this plan only, that keeping this thing survive. At least wherever we need to improve, we need to do that.
Great, great. Last thing that I want to know:
Yeah.
do you ever think of getting back to your job that you were doing? I mean, I don't know if you really like doing that, but why this question? Because not that you need money or need stability, but do you really feel that मैं वो भी तो कर सकता हूँ?
I don't know. Like it's just my personal feeling, right? I am not generalizing this. The personal feeling about this is, see, the most important thing starting something like doing a business is like is not the money. People say कि पैसा चाहिए तो फिर we can do something, but it is absolutely needed. And this genre, this restaurant line of business needs a lot of investment to make ourselves floating in the market.
That's right.
Because nowadays 50 to 100 people are opening a cafe, a restaurant or something. So why people will come to my place? That is the biggest question. So if I have there is a still, the struggle is still going on inside. So शायद वैसा होता अगर नहीं करते तो जॉब होता तो अभी बहुत आगे चला जाता. तो I would have a good a car, a place. My friends are having, of course. My friends who are working in a good companies, they're having a stable job. ठीक है. और एक टाइम के बाद the pressure is coming from the family, right? So
अभी भी है pressure. इतना successfully ये चीज run करने
I don't know this is successfully running or not. It's the person who coming to my place will say that, right? So I don't know what is successfully running. I said the successful thing is just
according to me.
yeah. So maybe if it is a successfully running, if people are giving good support, love and system to the system, so I'm glad. At least we are successful at any point, right? So the struggle is still going on. The struggle inside of having a fight with myself and everything is still going on. Right? Maybe I'm like hoping someday everything will going smooth, but never. Starting a business will never go smooth. But at a point of time we reach a height, then again there is a thing कि चलो अब ये शुरू करते हैं. So the struggle will always be there.
I've heard that this place is pet friendly. What is the idea behind it?
There is nothing such particular idea about being pet friendly, because pets are just part of our life. Who keep pets, right? Because I'm not a, I think you have seen that some two cats are roaming around here,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not a cat person.
Oh, okay.
But I'm mostly anything that
Yeah.
like loves me is a person. Generally, maybe someone have just donated these two cats into my like door
Oh, okay.
a few months back.
Okay.
So I couldn't let that go. So I
Go.
just take it in. Yeah, and
really
I
good.
feel na, these people give a good vibe.
Yeah.
And we face a lot of backlash as well. Ki these are
Yeah.
it's a restaurant thing.
Mm.
The direct access to the customers. Why
That's
you are
right.
giving direct access? So we have kept the places totally different. So because this indoor section, we are don't much allowed the guest to have an interaction with the pet, but with the upstairs and the open spaces having a pet friendly thing.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So we kept this thing so that every people could enjoy the place.
Got it. Got it. Great point. So, would you like to give a message to the upcoming entrepreneurs? Somebody who is actually going to start, somebody who's looking at you and dreaming the same.
This is just a small suggestions to everyone who wants to start something. Before we do anything,
Yeah.
the first thing we need to do is we should be planned at least to ourselves, not with the other thing, right? And आप कर लो, जो होगा इसके बाद देखा जाएगा. बिकॉज इफ हम हमेशा यही सोचते हैं कि करेंगे, थोड़ा पैसा जमा कर लेते हैं, फिर शुरू करेंगे, थोड़ा सेविंग्स करके फिर शुरू करेंगे, तो दैट डे विल नेवर कम.
थोड़ा रिस्क लेना पड़ेगा.
ठीक है, दैट डे विल नेवर कम. रिस्क तो है, ऐसा है कि कल बंद हो जाएगा सब कुछ, ये भी हो सकता है. वी एवरी डे वी लिव विद दिस फीलिंग. जब हमारा कैफे था, जब लॉकडाउन के बाद वो फीलिंग ज्यादा हुआ कि अगर ऐसा कुछ होता है तो ऑल ऑफ ए सडन ये जो 4 साल का मेहनत है कभी भी बंद हो सकता है, राइट? सो दैट थिंग यू शुड keep in mind, but that thing also inspires someday.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is just a small suggestion, nothing.
I mean, hopefully ये वीडियो बहुत लोगों के पास तक जाएगा और आपकी बातें सुन के ही लोग इंस्पायर हो जाएंगे, उनको आइडिया आएगा कि कैसे आगे बढ़े. And the fact that it is such so customer centric, I think I love that fact, and I really feel that here when I come here as a customer, when I look at the walls here, when I look at the decorations and everything, it feels homely, it feels at peace. Great. Thanks for being so honest with us. Thanks for giving us an insight of how you started this business and where you are now, and that even after having such a beautiful, such an awesome cafe, he still has a lot of questions in his head. Put down your comments and let him know that he should be proud of himself for building this place so beautifully. You'll of course see a lot of visual snippets that I'm going to put here. See how beautiful this cafe looks. See the food that we're going to order. See the drinks that we're going to order. And thank you so much for being with us. It was awesome talking to you.
Thank you so much for having us, actually.
Thank you so much. आप अपना नाम बताइए और आप यहाँ पे कब से काम कर रहे हैं, बताइए हमें.
मेरा नाम है शुभंकर मिश्रा. मैं यहाँ फरवरी में ज्वाइन किया हूँ द कैनिस्टर कैफे में. अच्छा.
और अब कहाँ से आए हैं?
मेरा बेसिकली मेरा जो पीएस है वो एक्चुअली नारायणगढ़ है. वो मैं खड़गपुर के बगल में पड़ता है वो. अच्छा. ठीक है. तो मेरा पश्चिम मिदनापुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट है. मैं गांव से बिलोंग करता हूँ. अच्छा. मैं इधर आया था फरवरी में, तो इधर एकोमोडेशन में इधर रहता हूँ. अच्छा.
तो आपको यहाँ पे काम करके कैसा लगता है?
फर्स्ट टाइम तो आए थे तो एक अजीब सा, एक अलग शहर है. मैं पहले यहाँ का बारे में पता नहीं था, तो उसके बाद धीरे धीरे काम करने के लिए फिर अच्छा लगा हुआ है. इधर का जो ओनर है वो भी बहुत ही अच्छा है. तो इसी की वजह से फिर इधर मन लग गया इधर.
अच्छा. तो आपको ये कैफे बाकी कैफे से कैसा अलग लगता है?
मेरा कैफे में फर्स्ट टाइम मेरा जॉब है ये. अच्छा. मेरा तो एक अलग एक्सपीरियंस इधर हमको मिला हुआ है. नहीं तो मैं एक्चुअली रिसोर्ट में होटल में मल्टी क्रूजर में काम किया. अच्छा. था. ओके. तो उसके बाद मैं कैफे में आके ज्वाइन किया, तो मेरे को इसका कुछ पता नहीं था इसका इधर का. तो हमारा जो ओनर है हमको हाथ बढ़ा के थोड़ा दिखा के फिर एडजस्ट कर लिया हम.
सही है. आपका व्यवहार बहुत अच्छा लगा हमें, तो हमने सोचा आपका बात तो बिल्कुल इस वीडियो में आना ही चाहिए. थैंक यू सो मच हमसे बात करने के लिए.
फिर आप लोग आइएगा, ठीक है।
हाँ हाँ, श्योर श्योर।
और एनी मोर फ्रेंड्स।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू।